Lorraine Cruz. She graduated from beauty school only 6 short years ago and is now a Master International Educator on Bioionics Global Creative Team. Lorraine is much in demand to work on movie sets, high fashion campaigns, and even editorial photo shoots. She travels the world to practice her craft, most recently appearing in Milan, Italy as a guest stylist. Lorraine, it's great to have you here. I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me and talk a little bit about you, if you don't mind.
Oh, thank you so much, Frank. It's an honor to also be here.
Oh, great. Well, then the honor's mutual, and now let's see if we can talk a little bit about this incredible person named Lorraine. I am totally fascinated by your story. You're second generation, which is really cool. There's a lot of people in this industry that are second, third. I'm third generation, believe it or not. And I truly love this business. Obviously, you love this business. You saw your mom doing this. Mm-hmm. You told me the story about how mom inspired you. I mean, yeah. She was your inspiration.
The greatest work ethic I have ever known on this planet. She worked 363 days a year, right? As much as she could. And I grew up in that environment where every day after school, I'd help her out and sweep the floor. Mm-hmm. And she'd have me do the most tedious of work, like recycle gloves and plastic caps and fold towels so meticulously just to keep me busy, you know, and all the capes and stuff like that and greet people. So I tend to think that I'm bred that way, yeah.
Well, not only you're bred that way, but you had a chance to see the cosmetology business on the good side, meaning the glamorous side, the client leaving happy, smiling, and looking great, and you got to see all the dirty side of cleaning up and mixing the chemicals, and yet you still really wanted to get into this.
I did, because I think something that attracted me to it was that transformation, where people walk in and then they walk out differently.
Powerful stuff.
Oh, I mean, the complete overall, I want to say, perspective of them, from mind, body, and spirit. They walk in and they had a rough day, or they had a fight with their husband, or something that they want to let out, and then they come to the stylist and they let it all out. And then the stylist works the magic, and then all of a sudden they feel like they can face the world. So there is an underlying psychological value to being a hairstylist. That's very important as a service to your community.
When did you know you wanted to do this? I mean, did you kind of always know it, or was there a point in your life that you thought about doing something else?
I did. After I had my son, I guess after you have a child, I have an 8-year-old, you mature and you think about your future more. And I thought, I need to have a career, a profession, something. So I started going to college, and I went to a community college in Brooklyn. And after about almost a year of that, I said, I can't do this. This is
not you.
Not me. Too much structure, too much, I don't know what it was about it, but I just wanted to be more creative, more free, more productive, more excited, more sociable. And then I always veered back to my mom, and I said, well, what would my mom do in this situation? And then I said, I'm going to go to beauty school. And once I entered beauty school, that spark just ignited within me, and I was like, I know all this. It's so familiar. And that's where that passion and that flame came, where I became alive.
Right. You're a single mom. A lot of that happening in our industry. I mean, that people have to face that. It's an incredible challenge. How old was your son when you were going to
school? I think he was probably less than 2. He was very small.
So of having to care for someone else while you're trying to get the education that you need to get to the point where you then can take real good care of the people that are that you love in your life. But other challenges that hit you while you were in school?
I think more personal. We're going to go deep in there.
Let's go in there.
The fact that you don't really know where it's going. You're doing all of this and you're pulling yourself in so many different ways, and you don't really know where it's going. And you kind of have to truck through that, through not having enough money to take the bus, and I would have to, New York City weather conditions, freezing conditions, I'd have to walk. And get my son in certain places.
And carrying your student kit?
And carry my kit. And inside, I'm like, what am I doing? I'm freezing. I'm hungry. I can't do it. Physically, my body wanted to get
You're asking yourself, is it worth it?
Is it worth it? So it's more of a mental thing, too, because those dynamics come up where you think you're not good enough for it, or there's limitations you put on yourself where you actually start to believe them. And then something beautiful, which everybody has inside of them, comes as an inspirational piece of hope. And you can do it, and you will prosper. And this does have a purpose. So you have to keep focused to that and just drive it home. Land the plane, like they say, land the plane, just drive it home. So I figured through all those challenges that I was going through, I really had to make it worthwhile. I really had to take that kind of doubt and fear and transform that into something beautiful, because I knew what that sensation was, and I did not like it, and I did not want it. I wanted a better life. So that's how I kind of trucked through it and pushed myself through it. It will get better, it will get better, it will get better. And you get it, and you make it better.
You do. And you know what? You find yourself hearing people say, this isn't worth it. I'm sure you had that happen in your life. I've heard it time and time again. Of people who I'm sure you had a wonderful support team with your mom, and I'm sure your son was even cheering mom on because he's probably very proud of you.
Right.
But I'm sure you had other people that are saying, it's not worth it. I'm not sure it's...
Yeah, for the most part, this industry is not really highly respected. And most of
Which is crazy when you think
Which
about
is crazy because it's such a huge pact in our, local, regional, national, international level, because we have the ability to actually touch people, which very few people have the right to actually sit there and touch you, where you sit down and allow somebody to work on you, besides a doctor or a therapist.
Massage therapist, something like that, right?
Or a hairdresser or a nail tech. Very few people are allowed to touch you. And the power of touch is so amazing.
Or at least that you want to be touched.
Right.
I mean, who wants to be touched by a dentist, right?
Absolutely,
But you really, what you do is so powerful.
Right. So you just kind of, you have to understand the importance of that also, without getting too lost in that.
No, you're not lost in it. I think that's a phenomenal message, because I think it goes to the heart of what it is that we do in this industry,
right?
And what makes us so special. And when you talked about the respect angle of how people view the cosmetology industry, it has more to do, I think, with some of the individuals in our industry that have lost sight of exactly what it is we do. And it's a phenomenal profession. It's a phenomenal profession, and what you've done is a perfect example of that.
Yeah, it's also part of the creative mind. You are able to create whatever you want in life, and that's I think that's where that hope comes from. It's you that's driving this motor. It's not somebody else telling you what to do or how to live or how to be. It's you that are actually creating that feeling for people. And I think that gratification inside is where the passion in a hairstylist grows,
Did you ever think about quitting?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What was the low point?
When my son was crying for me, when I didn't have enough to feed him, when I had to worry about dropping him off at my mom and feeling so guilty, because he's just a baby.
Right.
And you somehow see that it's not about that situation. It's about a bigger picture.
Much bigger.
Bigger than you and I.
Right.
And it'll work itself out at the end of the day.
That's very powerful stuff. But ultimately, you knew you could have a better life for your son by going through that process.
My mom was my guru.
Was she really?
She really was. She's the one, my strength,
she
my
was
core.
Always there for you.
The woman full of grace. She was, let me just get it together.
You're doing great.
My mom was an immigrant. Crossed the border, worked in factories, had the American dream. The eldest of 13 children. Wanted a better life.
She did.
She came and she established herself. She got married. She became
Had to learn the language.
Had to learn the
language. How to become a citizen.
The skill, the talent, the adversity that she faced. So when I look at mine...
She paved the way for you. I mean,
absolutely.
She literally...
Absolutely. So then when I think about mine, I go, what am I really fussing about?
Yeah, that's right. It's true. What a great perspective.
What am I really fussing about? And then my mom would always lift me up. And I can do this because she wanted to be a successful business owner, put my sister and I through college, owned her own property, her own salon and house, lived a beautiful life, traveled around the world, wore the best clothing and the finest perfumes this world has ever known, and an immigrant.
Not bad.
So when I think about it, I'm like, wow, if I come from that, I have to take this to the next level. And I got to step up to the plate. And I have been born in America and a blue passport that allows me everything and anything, speaking 2 languages, Spanish and English, and having a cosmetology license helped me soar.
It's a license to kill, isn't it?
That's
You can do anything you want to do.
That's it. That's all you need. A profession, a career. You know, you need a vision, you need heart, you need passion, dedication. You need to actually know yourself, like go through all those struggles and always know that there's something bigger waiting for you. It's like this beautiful energy that's within you that wants to come out and you want to let it out. And you have to believe in that. You have to believe in yourself. And as you progress and you start going through all those transformations, then you start seeing, you know, the self-confidence and the beauty and the abilities that you have that nobody else can take away from you to push you along through anything in life.
That's fantastic. Where are you going to take all this? What's the next step in your life?
I've always been a visionary since a child. And I've always had a great imagination. And I've been lucky to say that everything I've ever wanted in life, I've accomplished. Because I've worked very hard for it, no matter what came up. And now I think that...
Inspiration and perspiration, right?
Yes. And I think that now I like the fact that besides being a hairdresser, I like the idea of being in service to other people and inspiring hope and passion and desire in the right way. And I also like sharing a lot of information with young women about the importance of responsible beauty and not empty vanity, because there is a line in between there. And this industry is very much vain, and it's very about glitz and glam, and it's very much about a facade and an image. But at the end of the day, you have to own to the responsibility of that and know the power of that, because that's what makes a huge difference within a stylist. Not a person that's out there for money, that does things just to make money and wear nice Prada shoes and drive a nice Mercedes-Benz and would do anything to have that. It's the person that works with the responsibility and the accountability of doing that with, you know, great pride and joy.
Beauty starts on the inside, doesn't it?
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's fantastic. I think you've already given incredible messages, but if you had, in just a minute, if you had a short, just a quick statement you could make to cosmetology students throughout the United States right this minute, what would you tell them? What do they need to be successful? What do they need to be in your shoes? I
would say that this world has infinite amount of possibilities. You can create and have anything you want in life. But at the end of the day, if you don't get it, it's because you really didn't want it. So it puts the responsibility back on you. What is it that you really want at the end of the day? You know, you want success, you will have success. And that will just roll and start making it. It'll start snowballing into where you need to be. You know what I think is really cool? It brings it full circle, because that's why your mom came to this country to become an American, because she knew that if she could do that, that she would be able to be successful and be happy. And you've done that for her as well. And if you're inspiring your son to do that as well, then all of this is not only worth it, this has been an incredible investment. Oh, thank you. It is. It is. It's very humbling. But I want to add something to that snowball effect. Please. Because this is full circle for me now. Actually having the opportunity to meet you and coming back here to Hershey. Because I started in beauty school and I entered the competition. I love that story. And this is just something that I want to also tell, you know, the students, go for it. Don't be afraid. Just go for it. I entered the competition and I was so scared because I think I was only about 2 months into the school. And most of the people that were signed up for the program were already almost graduating. So they had all this before me. And then I'm coming into the school with my little mom and pop shop knowledge and said, I'm going to do this. I don't know why, but I'm going to do it. And I entered it and I just blocked everything out. I created this beautiful geisha. It won me first place local, first place regional, and third place here in
Nationally.
Hershey National. I won a trip to Matrix Destination Las Vegas, where I met numerous amount of industry professionals. I got a chance to network with them. And that's when I found out what it is that I wanted to do in the industry. I wanted to be a platform stylist, an educator, art director. I wanted that stage to convey a message and to work my talent. And that's how it all snowballed. So coming back here is a little bit of a self-realization.
Isn't that amazing?
Coming full circle and
I love
now
it.
being here.
I love your story.
You can take that anywhere.
You can take it anywhere. You can do anything you want to do. So you have a wonderful story, and I'm just honored that you would tell it to us today.
Oh, thank you.
And it's been a real pleasure being with
thank you,
you.
Frank.
It's been great.
It's wonderful.
All right.
Shoot for the stars.
Shoot for the stars, baby.